Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome to DVT TV. My name is Lisa Lane. I am an 18-time blood clot survivor. My last blood clot was in 2021. It was actual VTE to the left atrium. I always have to think about which I should know, but to the left atrium. That resulted in two heart surgeries and many weeks, months, I guess, of cardiac rehab. So I'm gonna try and fit as much stuff in as I can to this episode without it becoming like, overload. Next week, I'm really excited to share two stories with you. And this is something that we have not seen on DVT TV, is the story from a male's perspective. A VT episode, which just means a blood clot episode, from a male's perspective. So I've got two wonderful gentlemen, good friends of mine, Jim and Doug, that have been so sweet and so candid in sharing their stories with me. And I am going to be bringing them to you next week, because I think a lot of the misconception with blood clots is that it's a female thing. It's a pregnancy thing. It's a right after pregnancy thing, or it's a during pregnancy thing. And I hear that all the time. And we've made huge strides in even getting that far. Just being able for someone to say, well, I know that I need to be careful when starting birth control, or I need to get my blood checked when I start birth control. That's a huge stride. That's a huge accomplishment. Not that I've personally made, but that resources and education have made in awareness. But I feel that still not nearly enough people know about this. Not nearly enough maternal health awareness is done about DVTs. Not nearly enough. Not nearly enough African American education is done about DVTs and VTEs. And then to piggyback off of that, a lot of people have the misconception that this is something that happens to females when they're pregnant. And that's not the case. This is anybody. This is anybody's disorder. This is anybody's health issue. This is everyone's health crisis. So, it's not a female or male thing. It's not a Caucasian or African American or Hispanic or Asian thing. It is not a maternal health versus a menopausal thing. This is everybody, guys. That's the thing. This is everybody. The statistics are still the same. The statistics are still the same. 1 out of 6 Americans, or I'm sorry, every 6 minutes, that stat is here in a minute, but every 6 minutes. So I've been going live now for 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Every 6 minutes during this video, do yourself a favor and set a timer for 6 minutes. Every 6 minutes, someone in the United States dies of a blood clot or blood clot related injury or illness. And just, I think kind of with anything, it's never my problem till it becomes my problem, The numbers are so high on this that this can easily be your wife, your husband, your daughter, your son, your grandchildren, you, So the best thing to do is to be informed. The signs and symptoms: stop, clot. And if I can urge you enough to look up what that anagram means, but it is the signs and symptoms of a blood clot. The things that happen: swelling in the legs, fast heartbeat, tightness in the chest, swelling, redness, pain in the legs. I could go on, and I feel like so many of my videos, I've gone in depth with the signs and symptoms. Jakara did in her video, Sarah did in her video, as well as myself in my first episode. But the more that we know to look for these things, the more that we know traveling poses this, we're getting, I'm gonna get all on my soapbox, but we're getting ready to head into the #1 travel season of the entire year. So planes, trains, automobiles, not a copyright, sorry. So, but all different means of travel. If you were traveling by car, I cannot urge you enough. Every 2 hours, stop the car, get everybody in the car out, go to the bathroom, walk around, if there's a dog park, take the dog out, whatever you got to do, get out of the car. If you have circulation problems, compression hose, I'm very excited to talk about crazy compression here in a little bit, but wonderful, wonderful website. And right now they have some amazing deals going on. Just look up www.crazycompression.com. Wonderful patterns, styles. They're not just the black and white, tan, ugly, horrible looking compression stockings that we all know and love. They're incredible, and they have normal and they have wide calf. So I know, when you're in the middle of a DBT episode, when your calves are swollen, it's painful. It's painful. So they have wide leg and they have normal. So check out that website. Not a sponsor yet. But, if you're on an airplane, I don't care how stupid you may think you look, get up and walk to the bathroom. For every 30 minutes in the air that you're allowed to get up and go to the bathroom. You don't even have to go, just stand there. Like, I always turn around in circles, like 10 circles, and then I go back to my seat. Also, something else that you can do on the plane is while your feet are rested on the footrest, you can sit there and do toe raises. You can also do calf raises, which is when you pull your toes. I'll show you really quick. All right, so let's see. I can't turn this around. Okay, I'm trying to get it to look at my feet. Okay, so those are toe raises. You can do that from your seat. And then the flip side is, you see what I'm doing where I'm lifting? That is wonderful circulation for your legs if you can't move. If they have the seatbelt sign on and you can't take it off. And I've been in those situations like, what do you do? I can't get up, Keep your legs moving. Keep your compression socks on. Keep yourself hydrated and take your medicine. That's what I want to talk about next. Okay, so medication and the holidays. A couple of tips that I've learned through the years. Number one, you always want to make sure that you have enough medication. If it's coming down to like Christmas Day and you have only one pill left, Thanksgiving and you've only got one pill left, you want to go ahead and just refill the medication. And I know that's easier said than done. If any of you all have issues filling your medication because of the cost, please reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook. You can comment below in the description, and I will let you know some wonderful, wonderful things, regardless of what blood thinner that you are on, to where you can get medication at a discounted rate, regardless if you have insurance or not. So please, again, if that's something that you struggle with, just let me know, and I will do everything that I can to help you. But you want to make sure during the holidays that you have enough medication, because we all know, as we head into winter, our flight could be delayed. We may get, in a car and there may be snow, there could be ice, and then we have no medication. We're in a different state, and pharmacy laws throughout the states are difficult. It's going to make things a lot more difficult on you than just making sure you have enough. Something that I've kind of learned over the years is that if I go to my hematologist or my primary care doctor and they can give me 1 week of samples, then I stick that sample bottle in my travel case, and then I always have it. Always. I'm never without at least a week of medication. But the last thing that we want to do, this is a life-saving, if you're on blood thinners, especially those of us that are lifers, you have to take it. There's no option, no ifs, ands, or buts, no I forgot. I've learned that the hard way, especially if you're traveling. So you want to make sure that your medicine is filled up, you're ready to go, and you at least have a week's worth, plus whatever you need during the holiday. So if you get snowed in, if there's car trouble, if there's whatever, your flight gets canceled or delayed, you have your medicine. Okay, so I can't stress that enough. All right, so tips and tricks for the holiday season, just a few from me to you. Merry Christmas. So what are we doing? I'm gonna do a 2024 wrap-up episode that kind of shows everything that we have accomplished this year. I could not be prouder of so many people. I'm not gonna pat myself on the back and just, I do what I do, but I couldn't be prouder of so many people. But what does the rest of 2024 look like in terms of fighting for DVT, education, prevention, and, being counted or surveillance? So Lane's Law is on the table in Nashville. I've worked with some incredible people. The chairman of the House of Representatives, Kelly Kiesling, is one of, if not, top 5 most incredible people that I've ever worked with in my life. Congresswoman Diana Harshbarger, so glad that she got reelected. She's District 1 in Tennessee, my district, and but she is just phenomenal, and a former pharmacist, so she really gets what I'm talking about, what the NBCA is talking about, what the pharmaceutical companies are talking about. So the rest of 2024 is pushing, is continuing pushing Lane's Law. With an administration change, you never know what could happen. And though that really doesn't go into effect until January, until something is signed by the governor, it's always up for debate. So, we are still pushing Lane's Law hard. And while we have so much support in Nashville, meeting with Holt Witt, who's the chairman of Health and Human Services, incredible gentleman. to work with. Him and Chairman Kiesling have been incredible. So Leslie and I have a couple of one-on-one meetings, and then we'll probably have one more group meeting with everybody that's trying to, you know, keep Lane's Law together, put Lane's Law together, that has been a part of this entire journey. Have one more meeting before the end of the year. And then it goes to budget year 25 onto the floor. So to see something come to fruition and to see it pass, that's when I can take a break. That's when I can take a breather. And it's jumped so many hurdles since its inception, and the hard work that so many people did on Emily's Law in Florida. You know, I can't say thank you enough to the people that worked so hard on that bill, because it kind of had, you know, made a template for mine and for everyone that comes after that. And, you know, once we get these things completed on the state level, it makes them a lot easier to do at the federal level. It makes them a lot easier to justify at the federal level. Again, with administration changes, you never know what's going to happen. Could be good, could be bad, could be, you know, whatever. I'm not getting into politics. But you just kind of have to play it by ear and really see what happens. So that's where Lane's Law is. I'm so proud of it. I'm so thankful to Leslie Lake, to Ashley, to Taryn, to Stephanie, to all my folks at the NBCA for believing in me and helping me, sometimes on 10 minutes notice, drop of a hat, like, I need something now. And they're just incredible. And they never hesitate, you know, because we're all really singing from the same sheet of music. And this means something to all of us. So it's not about being first. It's not about shining the brightest. That's not what any of this is about. This is about bringing education and resources to people I wish I would have had. If I would have had 20 years ago the resources that some of the states are now bringing, the federal is starting to come around and bring, and what the National Blood Clot Alliance does, I would more than likely have more than one child. I more than likely would not have had a heart attack. I more than likely wouldn't have had more than one blood clot, and I've had 18. So, you know, whatever circumstance you have, turn it to good. Help somebody that's going through what you've been through. That's why you've been through it. But I can't say anything enough than I could say thank you to all of them. So on Friday, and I purposefully do not mix these two entities, and I'm going to be as vague as I can potentially be with this. However, on Friday, I was sent a letter from two of the largest pharmaceutical companies on the planet, thanking me. I don't know if it was like an award. I don't know. I'm clueless when it comes to stuff like that. But kind of a commendation of, you know, thanking me for my work in the state of Tennessee, for advocating and bringing a voice to blood clots. And it meant a great deal to me. A great deal to me. I'm working hard with these pharmaceutical companies in a special program for a certain medication, and that's all I'm going to go into it. But this is a peer-based group in which I share what I have been through, my story, to healthcare professionals, to victims' families, to survivors, to pharmaceutical reps, and also to pharmacists and medical professionals, not just physicians, not just pharmacists. So I'm so looking forward to 2025 with this, because it's going to be great. So the rest of 2024. So along with those things, we have got a couple things to do before Christmas. And one of those is we're going to have our second, which means we officially get our road sign that says Clot Free Tennessee, National Blood Clot Alliance. And that is off of Highway 92 in Jefferson County. Super, super excited for that. We'll be doing press for that, as it's a big deal to have that many people pass by that road sign every day. But after you do two, and we had one scheduled in September, and unfortunately Hurricane Helene came and caused a lot more mess than we could ever pick up. So we've had to move it. So it will be the second weekend in December. And I know that's kind of end of the year and cold, but I want to get that sign up by the end of the year. So, it's our Clot Free Tennessee. I'm still looking for a really cute little name for it. So if anybody has any ideas of what to call our trash pickups, somebody suggested Trash Out for Clot Free Tennessee, Litter Free Tennessee, which I think that might already be taken, I'm not sure, but I've gotten some really good suggestions. So I'm willing to do this. If anybody can throw some cute names down in the comments of this video of little cute little names for our trash pickup. I'd like it to have Clot in the name. I'd like it to have Tennessee somewhere in the name, and of course it's a trash pickup. But I'd love to see some cute little ideas. And if anybody comes out with a great one, free NBCA hoodie on me. It's a $55 value. So that brings me to our run. We had a run about a month ago for the NBCA. It was our annual fun run where people can run a 10K, a 5K, or do a walk, a 1 mile walk. And I am so proud of Team Clot Free Tennessee. And it was made up of members that some of them I didn't even know. I had no idea who they were. But they signed up. They liked Clot Free Tennessee. I know one of them has a summer home in Tennessee, so that's why they signed up on my team. But I was so excited for the turnout. We raised over $300 for the National Blood Clot Alliance. My best friend, Tommy, won the sweatshirt. So for the most money raised or donated. So I will be getting the sweatshirt to him. But it was incredible. And I'll say something about Tommy and I have been friends since we were 10 years old. Okay. We were 10 years old. He was one of my first friends when I moved to Irwin. And Tommy and I were in the same grade. Always been like my big brother, almost, I mean, if something goes wrong, that's who I call. Something goes really wrong, that's who I call. You know, we both had, you know, kind of some heart things at the same time, and yeah, I've got Bonnie scratches on my hand. So, but you know, just a wonderful, wonderful friend that I am very, very blessed to have, and his family is just precious. Alex and his 2 kids are just incredible. But Tommy lives in the Tampa area, so 48 hours before he ran his 10K to stop the clot, hurricane, and I can't remember the name of that one. There's been too many hurricanes this year. I can't remember the name. I remember Helene, but the hurricane swept through Tampa and destroyed so much stuff. There were people without power. There was people without this. I mean, it was crazy. And he's out running around Tampa to stop the clot. And I'll be posting a picture in this video. Sorry, Tommy, you can't get away from this one. But also my friend Kevin, who donated, and just huge supporter of mine, and huge, you know, encouragement, you know, and keep going and keep going and keep going. And when you feel like giving up, keep going again. So Kevin is an amazing friend of mine, extremely talented person, extremely encouraging, and I could not thank him anymore for what he did to help stop the clot. So my son and my dad, my son placed 7th in the 10K. Tommy placed, I want to say, 2nd or 3rd, which is crazy. My dad, up until the last day, was 1st. So, and then I think somebody beat him. So he finished 2nd in the 1 mile walk. My dad just had a heart attack, you know, 3 months ago. So for him to get out there and do that and finish 2nd, people ask where I get, you know, I guess my tenacity and my spirit. It's from him. So, you know, I was so proud of them. And then I ran the 5K, and I had trained for this for a while. Those of you all that kind of know my story, and I will get right back to it, but I'll get into my 5K. So those of you all that know my story know that over the past couple of years, I have lost about 125. It goes up and down. It fluctuates like 10 pounds, but I have lost about 125 pounds. And I have done that through several different means. But, you know, getting back out and walking and running and jogging is a big part of that. And, you know, I ran all the time in my old neighborhood. Now have found a great place to walk in the new one and run. It's in a cul-de-sac area. It's fantastic. So I trained for a while for this, a long while. I'm not up to marathon status. Never will be. I wasn't when I played basketball in college. There's no way. After about 10 miles, I would have lost interest and just gave up. Like, if I do anything too long, I'm done, you know. So I trained really, really hard for this. And, you know, I just had a goal to finish under 30. I didn't care what anybody else did. I could have got beat by everybody. I just wanted to finish under 30. And I finished, I think, 29:58 and ended up winning the 5K. So I'll post all of that here. I'll post all of my times and stuff like that for everybody that donated and ran. So that was something that we just accomplished, that we just did very, very recently. So we talked about Lane's Law, and we've talked about the fun run. We've talked about Christmas time. Speaking of Christmas, okay, so we talked about our trash pickup. So the last thing for the year that is going to be huge, let me preface that by saying, all of you that, you know, are either part of the DVT support group, watch on DVT TV, you know, maybe you're somebody that I know from Facebook, you know, and this kind of, you know, goes, you know, beyond blood clots, but for everyone that helped during the Hurricane Helene devastation, absolute disaster, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you. Because I know so many people that are close to me, that I grew up with, that I love dearly, that have helped me in times of trouble, that have been great friends to me for years. I've known these people for years and years. And then in one day, everything's gone. And the National Blood Clot Alliance, so many of you all from my Facebook and social media accounts didn't even hesitate. Just said, what do you need? And so to that, I want to say, sorry, I have a mosquito bite that's like under my arm and I can't scratch it. It's killing me. Like this whole video, I've been sitting here like, sorry. Should have lit in the citronella tiki torches I still have out here. But for everybody that helped with that disaster, we were able to get a whole carload of stuff. We were able to get of goods. We were able to get feminine healthcare products. We were able to get wipes. We were able to get a family placed in a home. I'm just speechless. I really, really am. Because you guys did that. You made that happen. We were able to get medication. We were able to get vaccines to the pharmacies because most of them were destroyed or at least temporarily closed. So it just blows my mind. I just cannot thank you all enough for what you did. I can't. But, so, the next big thing. All right, so piggybacking off of Hurricane Helene, that area was declared a disaster. Many people's homes are complete and total losses. And not only that, they're not allowed to build where their former homes used to be. Now, because of, how bad it was and taking a look at the situation, a lot of houses that were in that floodplain are now, there's no debate, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Building permits are not going to be issued. They're not going to be drilling for water. They're not going to be laying electricity and cable, internet, all that good stuff. They're not going to do it. So a lot of these people have got to permanently relocate. The government part aside, the FEMA part aside, and all that, I'm not getting into that. All of that aside, what I was thinking about the other day, and I'm like, I think we can do this. I know we can do this. Is the first, hopefully of many, first clot-free Christmas. And the clot-free Christmas started out with, we're going to do 3 families and give them Christmas, for 3 families in the Hurricane Helene affected area. Not all just from Irwin. There were many, many communities affected. So kind of just a random pick of 3 families in need, working with River of Life Church and Ministries. Love it. I love it. I get so excited. But taking those 3 families and providing Christmas, because when you go through something like this, nothing can replace the things that you've lost, and I know these people are working feverishly just to get land to put their temporary RVs on. They're working just to keep, food on the table, lights and internet on, the things that we all work for. However, I didn't lose everything that I owned. Many of us cannot say that. So to be able to put a tiny smile for a fraction of a second on someone's face who has lost everything, I mean, come on, so we have to do it. Absolutely. I feel called, I feel pulled in my soul that this is an amazing way to put a smile on someone's face and to raise blood clot awareness. So I will be doing major press for this. And hopefully, if the turnout is good, if people are interested, we can do more families. Maybe we can take on 5. But right now we're going to take on 3. And it will be in honor of West, Middle, and East Tennessee. That's the state I represent. And there are 3 regions in Tennessee. So on behalf of them and being clot free, we will do 3 families to start off with. So say hi to everybody. Can you say hello? Say, I hate my collar. I don't like my collar. I don't like it. You'd like it better if it was orange. Yes, you would. Say hi, Bonnie dog. Say hello to everybody. Say hi. I just learned to sit. Can you shake? Shake. Shake. Nope, sit. Shake. Nope, shake. Give me your paw. No. There you go. Did you all see? She did it. All right, everybody. So stay tuned. I hope. I'm looking at my hands because they're all chewed up by Puppy. Which I will post her in the video. But I hope to have the names of the families posted by December 1st. We're going to have a big thing on social media. I'll probably do a video for DVT on there, and again, without encroaching on people's privacy and safety. It's probably going to be very generic, family 1, mom, dad, their ages, girl 12, boy 8, boy 4, something like that. And then the list of what they will want for Christmas. And I don't know. I felt compelled to do something like this. Everything is going to be boxed and bagged up in NBCA swag. I can do that when not dealing with a huge organization, like other, Christmas time stuff. And they're wonderful and they're great, but, they have the interest of their own organization in mind. This is solely to get information out to these families, that it may help somebody. Get it out to the community, that it could help somebody. The press out to the community so that it could help somebody. But then also, Christmas is about miracles. Christmas is about hope. It's about happiness. And how better to do that than to give to somebody who has really nothing. I've got mud all over me, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm a complete wreck today. If y'all could see me from head to toe, I've got puppy prints all over me. I've got mud all over me. I've got scratch marks all over me. Like, I look rough. But Bonnie has been exactly what I needed. Exactly what I needed. And I'll go into that a little bit. I have decided, after some great counsel, some great advice from some amazing, amazing people, that I am not going to play the information that I got, because I do not know how it was obtained. I do not know really who obtained it. I don't know how they got it. And different states have different laws about, you know, recording people or getting information or stuff like that. I'm not even getting into that. Nope, not doing it. Smarter than the average bear. So I am going to give a brief overview of what these recordings entailed. This recording entailed, and the message that came with it. And then give my thoughts, feelings, and concerns, and then we're gonna wrap this up. So, now 2 weeks ago, I did a YouTube video, which you can see right when you see this one. That was my commentary on a video called, Accusations and Escalation. Sorry, I always have to think of which word comes first. By a friend of mine. And again, I do not at all apologize for that video. I think that it needed to be said. I think a lot of things in there needed to be said, but I'm in a position that I've never been a part of that entity. So the fear factor and the intimidation tactics from this group of people don't really work on me. I've never been there. So I don't have to worry about my standing in the church, or, you know, getting in trouble with leadership or anything like that, because I've never been a part of it. My video was solely my opinion about my friend Michael and his movement and his fight and his, mission to really, stop people from getting hurt. Not so much physically, but the ramifications that come from joining and then therefore leaving the church that was started by his mother. So this came to me in a JPG file. This was a recording of two men. They gave the names, but again, I'm not going to shout these names out, because that may have not been the case. This may have been someone pretending to be, setting up. I don't know. I really, when you receive stuff like this, and it can be a little jarring and it can be a little shocking, but I am, no bunny dog, but I am not going to shout out names unless I was physically there in the room with the people that sent this, and I know for a fact it was them. I have no idea. I don't know what these people's voices sound like, so I don't have the benefit of that. However, I've kept it to myself because, again, I do not want this put out there in just any way. I don't want this being used. There's so many things that concerned me about handing this over to anyone. So my friend hit it right on the head with one of his posts, over the weekend about someone coming on his Facebook and basically, you know, smearing my friend's dirty laundry that is, I mean, known to have happened in the past. It was part of the documentary. And my friend Michael has always said, you know, in almost every video I've seen of his, that, you know, he doesn't claim to be perfect. He's not claiming to be the light. He's not claiming to be the savior. He's not claiming to be his mother or have the way, you know. He's simply doing this to get people out of this institution and away from damaging, maladaptive, cult-like behavior. That's it. So what was sent to me was a recording of these two gentlemen talking about the evidence that they have of multiple illicit affairs and actions of my friend. Now, I watched the documentary just like everyone else. What someone does is their own business. You know, what someone believes is their own business. How someone conducts themselves is their own business. Especially when it was years in the past. You know, I worry a lot about my friend. I really, really do. And I will just say that. I do not want to deep dive into this. I will just say that to the people that were trying to smear his name to make me think less of him or something different of him, no. Sorry. Again, I watched the documentary. I've spent more time talking to this individual than probably anyone in the past 3 years. So, there's not much you could send me that would shock me. So, because I know this person's true intent, and I know this person's wish, and I know what this person is trying to accomplish. So sitting there and throwing mud back and forth, it's pointless. Not going to change my opinion. Not going to change a lot of other people's opinions, for we have all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. I love you all so much. Good night.